What's going on, everybody? Contemporary Comrades back at you with the second episode. We're recording this right after our first episode, so we're all fresh. I'm Adam. Guys?
Jaren here, Big J.
This is Cornelius.
Yeah, we're all here to follow up with our next topic, which is about kind of a heavy one for everyone.
Yes.
Dating in the modern age and with the resources we have at our disposal. So, yeah, we're going to start this off by talking about all the dating apps and the goods and bads that they provide. We can start with Tinder if you guys want, or Cupid, and plenty of fish. So whoever wants to start with this one,
Let's
go
just
ahead.
talk. Let's talk about how men and women just view each other first, if we can.
Okay, want to start there?
Yeah. So I'm off the market now. I was on the market for about 3 years, in one time I had a lot of I did a lot of self-reflecting and did a lot of self-growth, and I kind of really had to reestablish who I was as a man and what I wanted out of a relationship with a woman. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So in that time, of course, I was dating, and I feel like the way things are going nowadays, there's a lot of women who have a lot of unjustified hate and just pure vitriol and just pure just disgust with men, even if you're just a man in general.
Yeah.
They don't even give you the time of day just because you're a man.
And you're approaching them the wrong way too. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
There's so many variables now, bro. It's like the other day I was at the grocery store and just approached this girl. You know, talked about hey, I hear that the beaches are kind of getting polluted out here because me and Corn moved to Florida recently. So it's like, and she's like, yeah, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting. I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with them, but I gotta go. I was like, what the fuck? And it's just like, what is wrong? Like, I just feel like just approaching a woman in any way now, you have to just either be dressed right, you have to say exactly the right thing the right way, and
You don't have to be dressed right.
Dress right matters a little bit, honestly. It matter. It's an important factor, but it's not the full thing. But it also depends on what type of woman you go at, because some type of women prefer somebody who's dressed a certain type of way, where other women would say, well, I don't really care about that. I care about this other thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it matters to who it matters to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
right.
Like, and if it doesn't matter to you and it matters to that chick, then she's not for you.
And you never know. See, I wish that's one thing we were talking about last time, the whole like government taking over. I wish there was a way just to be able to tell more about a person before you meet them. Like just like kind of a bio pops up and you see, okay, this person likes this type of personality. So
and you know what's disgusting about that is that was also on Black Mirror.
What was it? I think I saw that episode. Yeah, I saw that episode.
And the lady ended up going crazy.
That's right.
Because people judge her off of what you just said.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it wouldn't be good then, but that would save you from like pointless rejection if you knew that this person was going to jive with you right away. Because so often, I just have like.
But I disagree here. But how is that a pointless rejection? Because how would you have known otherwise unless you went with the chick?
Well, because let's say I'm having a rough day or a good day, and one day I'm just feeling like, man, today sucks, but there's this really cute girl I want to talk to. I'm like, okay, this I might as well give it a shot. Go up to her and get and say I get the worst rejection of my life, and then I don't feel like doing it anymore the rest of the day. You know, it's like because that one person wasn't feeling me the way I went at her. And I could be putting on the biggest front of my life and be like, hey, what's going on? It'd be totally hyped, and it wouldn't work anyway. So I mean, I just feel like at that point, if you knew a little bit about them before approaching them, even if it's just a tiniest little bit of a thing, you might, I don't know, it might turn out differently. It's so many variables. I feel like.
But that's that's why people like dating apps. Dating apps don't work for me.
They don't work for me either, bro.
Yeah, dating apps fucking suck, man.
Well, no, it depends. Dating apps for women, we were all very aware that men are attracted to looks first. We can all be honest about that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Men go after looks. Yeah. Men go after looks. Women apparently don't. But for dating apps, it is all about looks both ways. Because I've noticed that it depends on how your pictures look, how you're dressed, what you're doing for a man.
Bio is worded.
how your bios work. For a man, all that
that.
stuff matters. Whereas for a girl, all you need is good pics, and you're getting swiped right. That's all there is to it. I prefer a good bio for a woman, but most guys on Tinder, they don't care about that shit. What was I say was Corn. We can attest to this because you have a little experience with the other side of the Tinder, and you remember that.
What do you mean experience with other side of Tinder?
Our old friend Hayden.
Yeah, let's not mention that.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like looks will guide a woman just as much as a man for a dating app. Because on there, what do you really got to go by? You don't know how he's looking, how he's talking, how he's standing, his posture, his teeth. If he's looking you in the eyes, you don't have any of that. So that's like the only time where you got even ground to like be on the same terms. Because like otherwise men are men and women are women. But for a dating app, I feel like you are on equal ground for like the only point. I mean,
I agree with some of that, but I don't agree that you're on equal points because let's be honest here. There's more dudes on dating apps than there is chicks.
Yeah.
But there's more chicks in real life than there are dudes, which is a crazy thing. Also, because of that, women feel like, in my opinion, women feel like they can be a lot more selective online than in real world because, or just in life in general, because you've got you're say you're a 7 or 8 chick, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But and we all know what Snapchat does to chicks' faces, right?
Yes.
It's a great
Filters in general. Now it's not just
right?
I said Snapchat. Now it's not just Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's
Filters in general.
All that shit. Yeah.
So if you're a 7 or an 8 naturally, you can look like a 9 online, easy.
Yeah.
And it also allows for those who are less than a 7 or 8 to look like 9s. To look.
Yeah. And can you imagine the amount of dudes you're gonna have in your inbox on a daily if you look like a 9 online?
More than most.
Women want attention, man. That's literally, man. Whether you're attractive or not, they want attention. And even if they don't like you, they like having attention from people that they know they wouldn't.
They wouldn't even do, would never have sex with or never have anything serious with or whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is.
Oh, dude, yes. Here we go. Here's the good shit I've been wanting. So there is like a plethora of women who have so many men waiting on them hand and foot who will put themselves in the friend zone gladly, who will walk right in and sit right down in the friend zone and kick their feet up, just waiting hand and foot on this chick because they think they're gonna get their shot at her when she might be dating somebody right in front of him, and it's just not going his way. But he thinks, oh, she matters so much to me. Eventually, she'll see me for who I am, and we'll date and get married. No, because you're belittling yourself. You're showing her you're more of a chick than you are a man. And it just
unfortunately, chicks are actually. Go ahead.
I was just gonna finish with it. Just becomes like I've seen it happen so many times, and it's like, and then let's say I might have talked to this girl because I actually wanted to date her or something, and I was being upfront about it and letting her know that hey, all these guys after you, they don't want to be friends with you, and then say the girl was like, oh, well, they're just my best friends. No man wants to be friends with an attractive woman. No man, unless he's gay. But no,
this is true.
All these guys don't want to be friends with you, and it's just, I mean, and they continue to do it because they feel like they'll get their shot, and it sucks. I mean, eventually, let's say you're in a position where you can't date them, right? Like my closest female friend, which I guess this applies to the same situation. She lives in North Carolina, and for a while when we were both living in the same state, we thought about dating, and I think it didn't work out because she was about to move, and turns out I moved actually 1 year exactly later. But now we keep in touch because we can't be anything else. But I guarantee you this: if we were living in the same state, it'd be game over because. Fuck you, man. But if we were living in the same state, I was getting to the point. If we were living in the same state, we would be dating, or we would probably not even be speaking because I wouldn't just want to be a friend watching her date other dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it's.
But how's that any better than being a friend afar, knowing that she's with?
Go ahead.
How is that any better than being a friend from afar and knowing that she's with other dudes?
Because you can't do anything about it.
You can't, even if she's in the same state.
I just wouldn't want to be a part of it because I've seen that happen too many times, man. being friends with the girl you like sucks.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Like, it's not, because you either do it because you have to, or you shouldn't do it at all. Like, I would want to drop somebody off my radar because if I got to know them after a while, but at the same time, if I like you, if there's any sexual attraction left, I can't be friends with you.
Like, but there's tons of dudes that are out there, and we saw it growing up. There's tons of dudes out there wait for the chick. They know she's in a relationship. They know it's not gonna last, or they're just waiting. They may not know, but they're just sitting there waiting for that relationship to fall apart, and then they swoop right in for the chick. I'm not the kind of guy that waits for a chick. I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Because there's so many other women out there, but a lot of guys will probably be down on their luck and will think this person's worth the wait. So let me just keep on being a friend, and eventually I'll get her. And it sucks. Because I mean, in my earlier years, I admit to being that guy a little bit, but then you start seeing it, and some people never see it, but those that do, more power to them. Because if you realize that you are belittling yourself and your morals and your personality, then fuck it. It's not worth it. No one person is worth just demature. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Yeah, but some people never grow up, man. Some people never fucking grow up. Remember how you were in high school? How almost all of us were in high school, where we're like, oh man, I would do anything to be with that chick. Like,
yeah,
there are people that are our age now,
older
still haven't matured in that sense of you shouldn't be to the point where you do anything for a chick you don't know to be with her.
Yeah.
You don't know what her personality is like.
Yeah.
You don't know how certain situations are going to be like. If you guys get in a real situation that real
how are you going to react? Yeah.
How are you guys going to handle that situation? And guys are just out here just like, oh yeah, I'll do anything. So I'm just going to simp and do this and yeah, I'll just, be a little feminine, and because I see that she likes that. They kind of conform. I hate fucking using that word. They try and change who they are to be with someone else.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming a trend. All this shit's becoming a trend. It's like, just change who you are to get the girl, man. It's fine. As long as you get the girl, it's fine.
Yeah.
And now people are getting married off of that too. And
the crazy thing about that is that's really not even what chicks are attracted to.
They're both at fault for that shit. They're both at fault for that.
Oh yeah, men and women are both, absolutely.
Right. It's not just the woman's fault. It's just as much as her fault as it is the guy's fault.
Absolutely.
And it's fucked because she's not developed. Her mind is not maturing because she's honestly, they are, in a sense, they're meeting halfway. That's good. But at the same time, he's changing who he is. She's settling with just someone with the personality he doesn't really have. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not his true self.
Yeah.
But then that begs another question: is does the man even know in this hypothetical situation? Does he even know himself to then give his true self to this woman?
No, because he's faking it for a girl.
But right? I'm saying he might even be faking it and not know he's faking it. Just like these girls might think they want a guy like that when in reality they don't.
That's a different can of worms because you gotta get to know yourself before you can really love anybody.
Exactly.
None of us are.
Unfortunately, people don't get to that point. They don't.
Well, yeah.
You're right.
There's 40-year-old women out there that are either married or still dating because they need somebody. And like I said before, with the chicks that I've dated in the past, they didn't want me. They just wanted somebody.
Yeah.
So as long as they have somebody that they can go pick out pumpkins with, or somebody they can go and date, somebody they can sleep with, somebody they can have come over every night when they get off and sit there and watch movies and eat popcorn and bullshit like that. They don't care about your fucking personality. They just want somebody there.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be alone. Because when they're alone, they're lonely. I can only speak for myself. It's like, I don't mind being alone. I probably am gonna die alone. I don't care. But yeah, there are times where you feel lonely, but I don't get lonely because I'm alone. If that makes sense. You're gonna have
lonely.
At times, but I'm not gonna be like I don't get lonely because I'm alone. I
see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm alone, so I'm
relationship wise. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so alone, so I'm lonely. I'm alone because I want to be alone because right now there's nothing out there for me. But there are times where I'm like, man, that does look kind of cool, like going out and there are things that couples do that you kind of look at it. Any man, I think, should look at it and be like, man, I kind of want that. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm so lonely, man. I wish I had that. Oh man, I'm so now I need to go out and find that. I don't care who it is, as long as I have somebody to do that with. I don't care. Like that's 19-year-old shit.
Yeah. Well, what I'll admit to is since moving here, finding people isn't quite as easy as I thought it would be. So I will admit loneliness happens for me a lot, but not in the sense where I want a relationship partner. I just crave human attention. I like being around people. It doesn't have anything to do with just having to have a relationship right now, which I feel is an issue for a lot of people. Women, men, both. Like they that kind of loneliness is more important to them than just having friends, just having a circle.
Yeah.
That kind of loneliness I respect a lot more, because you just want people to talk to, and because people get energy from each other. So that part is important to me more so than I gotta have this girl, because there's plenty of women out there for that. And when you're socializing to the best degree of what you have inside you, to your best interest, to like you're in your zone, you're feeling yourself the best you ever have, you're gonna attract the right people. My biggest issue is when I'm just like kind of isolated, then I start acting stupid. I feel like I'm at my best when I'm around a good group. So that is a whole different thing. But I mean, it still applies here, I feel, to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent, I guess. But yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying, but I kind of do.
I understand. That was a little much. I get you.
I'm just trying to figure it out really. What like it could have a couple different ways there, but I know what you mean.
I'll add on with this. Like, women are the best actors in the world.
Yeah.
They can fake a lot of shit. Like a lot of shit in terms of relationships, in terms of making a guy think that that there's something in there. That's where the friend zone got started. That's exactly where the friend zone got started. To where the guy thinks like, oh, dude, I think she likes me, or blah blah whatever, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're just friends.
Oh yeah.
Everything's some douchebag or whatever.
You never kissed her, you never hit, you never did nothing.
And after that point, like it gets to the point where we're fed up. I'm fed up. Fucking fed up because of this stupid shit's happening. Because women, they know the game. They learn it, and nowadays learn it at an early age to where they're like, oh, got it wrapped around my finger. Especially if you're.
Yeah, bro, absolutely.
But hey, think about this though.
You make yourself fucking attractive.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah.
And it's fucking stupid.
You know what's funny? You mentioned friend zone. A lot of women will reject the idea of the friend zone even exists, and it's almost always women. They will say it doesn't exist. It's a myth. Where any man.
I don't know who would think that's the myth, men or women. Women know when they friend zone dudes.
Well, actually, some guys do too. It's a way of being. I don't even want to say this term because I hate it, but it's a way of being a social justice warrior, where you're like, it's kind of like we were talking about last time, where people want to conform and like just change their beliefs to fit the media. Whereas I've seen so many people say it, like I've watched a lot of videos and YouTube and stuff and YouTubers, and I've seen a few of them say the friend zone doesn't exist. Like, okay,
are you fucking kidding me?
I'm absolutely not kidding you. Yes, people will say that, and you know who it always is. It's always the hot girls. It's always the ones who have men in the friend zone.
And going back to what Korn said, women are the best actors in the world because they know that there's a friend zone.
But anyway,
they're the best actors in the world.
No, he said they're the best actors in the world.
Oh, you did? I must have misheard.
The best actors in the world.
My bad.
Because they are. It goes back to what he said. You know damn well these girls. All right, look at it this way. I heard this the other day. Somebody said, Who is the first person other than the mom that a little baby girl gets held by and protected by and feels that masculine energy by?
Or their father.
It's her dad. Who's wrapped around that little girl's finger from birth?
Their dad.
Their dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women literally get this from the time they're born to the time that they die.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they are born with game. Like literally, women are born with game.
Yeah.
For men, game is passed down to what worked for the man previous.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
You're lucky enough.
And look at what men are doing now.
And look at what men are doing now.
Ugh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is crazy to see. And so we talked about last time, those the simps on the Instagram photos. People talking about, ooh yes, ooh yummy baby. Saying things like, oh I love you so much. Like, act like this girl's gonna give a shit. That's just belittling yourself to the point of no return.
Oh, they give a shit. They see it. They might not like it. They might not comment, but they see it.
They definitely see it, and that's good enough for those.
It isn't that fucking ego boost.
Yep, that's good enough for people.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, we all went to college. Like, we all seen it. We've seen the chicks that have the ego boost at school, high school. It starts at an early age too now, where it's like middle school now.
Yeah.
So where they have that ego boost. To where they don't talk to, especially in person. They don't. If a chick, like the popular chicks in high school and stuff, they don't talk to certain people.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I remember that. Because you get your clique and you get your status, and then at that
not
point,
even it ain't got to be cliques. It's just a status.
It's social status. And social status follows you throughout your whole life if you have social media. Because remember I was telling you guys, I'm not doing this anymore, but last year I thought that posting pictures of like me with a girl doing something with her would attract others to comment and like and start texting me again because he has social value now, which honestly that probably would still work. I just got so sick of belittling myself.
Yeah, I remember doing that bullshit.
Okay, I'm admitting to the fault. Okay, but yeah, but still, it starts to make you feel so bad, at least me, that I just couldn't do it anymore because it's like this is literally the kind of shit I
squeeze. Of course, right.
Oh, sorry.
That was relevant. Oh yeah, but I was feeling the squeeze. It's like this shit is just, it sucks because I see people doing this way worse, and it's like it's stupid, it's immature. Let me just stop, and I feel a lot better now because you see people who never stop doing this kind of stuff, and
Yeah, I mean that's nothing I've ever done personally, but I mean. I don't know. I just feel like
I did it for online dating.
Yeah.
I posted pictures with me with other chicks.
But I mean, it's true.
I don't know if that necessarily got me more matches or anything like that. But I mean, nowadays it's hard to get mad because there's so many dudes on online dating to where you're lucky to even be seen on online dating. Honestly,
that's very true.
Because the ratio of dudes to chicks on online dating is like a lot. I'm not gonna throw out any like unfactional stat out there, but it's definitely like it's got to be like at least like 9-1 or something like that. Some shit. Wow, yeah, it's got to be.
It very well could be, man. Honestly, it very well could be. There's a lot of dudes on social media because a lot of dudes feel like they can't get chicks either in person or they got that in their back pocket as another way to get chicks or. Whatever it is. Honestly, and also men are always on the prowl.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing everything we can to get us a chick, no matter what we want her for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's another tool, but it's also another like kryptonite for guys, I think. There's so many dudes on online dating. The best luck I ever had with online dating was 2012 to 2014 because that's when that shit was pretty fresh. All the free ones were pretty fresh. Like there was more girls on there than dudes actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the best amount was when I was in the army, like from 2013 to like 2017.
There you go. Yeah.
I had for online dating.
2015 was the best year for me. I remember one point, first time in my life, I was talking to 3 women at the same time, and they all liked me, and that was like so bizarre for me. I was thinking, what am I doing different right here? And then I guess people just continue to change, and like, I mean. Maybe it's the media like we were talking about last time. But yeah, never since then did I have as much luck with social media or whatever I was doing right. Because even if you try to improve your pictures, your bio, that stuff doesn't really work for me on dating apps. So I've kind of just become less attached to them. I mean, to each their own. If they work for you, great. But I feel like
you got to find your strengths too, like. Because part of having game is knowing what works for you. For me now, online dating doesn't work for me. Online dating hasn't worked for me in like 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. It's never honestly, it never really worked for me either. Like at least for me, period, it hasn't worked for me ever. Honestly. Like I've gotten a few results from it. I think the one I got the most results from was OK Cupid, maybe Puff. I can't remember.
Yeah.
One of those two. I think it's actually Puff. I think I've had the most uh results in, but either way, like it wasn't any good results.
Yeah, I
It was
had
all
good. Honestly, my best one other than OK Cupid, I would say was Match. Oh, between OK Cupid and Match, I had a good amount of dates and a little bit of pussy.
bruh. Match was awful, man. Fuck Match.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you
I got
guys
on
said
Match
match.
time. I don't know, man. I had decent
Fuck
interactions
Match.
from Match, man.
Fuck
I
Match.
can't Kate on Match.
Fuck Match. Fuck.
All right, cool. We get it, bro. Yeah, match you had to pay for, right? So that's why I never did it.
Yeah, you had to pay for it.
Yeah, see, I don't want to pay for
Hold
lack
it,
of results.
one fucking paycheck, and I messaged like 100 and like I messaged like 119 women
Yeah,
and some
it
shit
was a
like
lot
that,
of chicks.
and only
Yeah.
got like 2 fucking results.
Oh, don't
Match.
get me wrong. I had the same experience, but the ones that actually did hit me up, most of the time we ended up going out on a date or
Nobody
something.
cared. Fuck Match.
All right, so we made it clear that the corn loves match.
Your match bashing, stop.
So now that we made it clear that Corn's favorite was match.
Fuck Match.
Yeah, dating apps not for me, apparently not for you guys either. So yeah, that's pretty clear where we're at. Yeah, it's crazy out there, man. Like me and Corn are single still. Like I've got a date this week, but I mean it's been pretty slow. And that was through, of course, using the dating apps, and be great if you could speed it up, but at the same time, I'm also in a new environment, so you have to. I mean, yeah, it's a lot to deal with. Like, but hey, to each their own. Whatever works for you, great. But in this day and age, it's hard to tell what's going to work because technology has become part of everyone's life to such a degree that we are all kind of like internet zombies walking around, and it becomes the point where maybe not for everyone, but there have been days when I would just play video games all day, then I go out in public and I'm like,
Antisocial.
wow. Yeah, and become antisocial, and you're like that can be a factor in it as well, and not being as open to go introduce yourself to a pretty lady or something like that, like
Yeah.
I mean a lot of factors here, man, a lot of factors.
Yeah, I mean you gotta. I feel like you gotta have a certain amount of extrovert to you to get chicks nowadays.
You do.
I really think that because in this all-inclusive society we now live in, you got chicks are a lot more outgoing than they used to be too. Like a lot of women were reserved, and then you had to kind of be a man and kind of give them that energy, and then they'll open up to you. Now it's like chicks are all out there, so you got to kind of be all out there too, but also be able to reel in her all out there. You know what I'm saying, and see if it works for you. Like that's my experience.
I feel you, dude. I love being an extrovert, on the occasion where I want to introduce myself to a woman, because whenever I do, I always try to be a little bit, happy, a little bit, flirtatious if I feel like there's a vibe here.
No, you gotta flirt anyway, man. You gotta flirt. If you want the chick, you gotta flirt, man. There's there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't go in and not flirt.
They ain't gonna
approach
you. They're not gonna approach you. They ain't gonna approach you.
What are you saying? In general, or?
Chicks are not gonna approach you to talk to you.
Oh, he's in general. He's in general.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Well, yeah, because the men, like you said, are the hunters. Like men are expected to be the ones to approach. Well, that's one thing that hasn't changed.
Not expected. It's natural. It's part of being a man. Is going out and getting stuff. You go out and you get it. You do it.
That's the last thing. That's the last thing I'll say about online dating. It's made for guys who are shy or people who are shy. I get that.
I say.
But then you have the people that aren't, and then you have the women. I don't even want to call them women, but the females, because I think as a woman, you're mature enough to do shit.
Yep.
But you have females on online dating now, to where there's so much online, so much in general, to where when they get approached in person, whether they're either gonna like freak out and not know what to do, or they're not gonna know how to hold. They don't know how to fucking hold a conversation when you do approach them. I approach way too many chicks where they don't know how to hold a simple conversation with a guy.
Yeah.
But then if you hold a conversation with them online, And then you meet in person, and you have some, I guess they kind of like, they feel like they kind of know you a little bit, which I understand. But to me, especially this past year, I started realizing if you just, not even realize, because Jaren kind of told me this, but like if you just set up a date, you get to hi, hey, how's it going, whatever, set up the date, and then bam, don't talk to them until the day before. Say, hey, we're still good for tomorrow. All right, cool. See you tomorrow. Then you go on the date.
Yeah.
That it's 50-50. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But usually, usually when you go approach a chick, I don't want to say when you go to it, but when I go approach a chick, 90% of the time they don't even know how to continue to hold a conversation. Whether they either want to be in a conversation or whether they just feel like uncomfortable because they don't know what to fucking say.
Yeah, I mean, dudes don't really approach chicks like that anymore. And if they are, it's really hot chicks.
Yeah.
I have met a lot of chicks that like they don't want to ask you questions about yourself. Like you're basically like talking to a wall when you're on the first date, which I hate. I wish I can get past the first date. I hate first dates, and I'll tell you why I hate first dates. I fucking hate first dates because one, you don't know if you're getting catfished, so you're sitting there waiting. Usually I get there first, so I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, fuck. Like is she gonna look totally different than what she looks like in the picture? Then you got to sit there and act like you're interested. And even on the first date, you have to like sit there. And I'm not saying like be fake, but you're sitting there like, hey, how's it going? Like instead of like, hey, whatever. But it's just like you always have to act interested in the shit that they're doing or whatever, which is fine. I get that you're learning about them, but the first date is always, to me, is always the worst. Even though 7 times out of 10, I get a second date. But usually that first date is just like I just want to get that out of the way, and then talk like normal human beings.
I would just avoid the first date altogether, honestly.
Because most of the time they sit there and you're talking to yourself, and then you have to ask all the questions. You have to ask the questions, and at least me, I don't want to say you, me. I have to sit there and ask all the questions, pretty much most of the time, and then they're sitting there answering them. But I'm just like, what do you want to know? And especially on online date, I'm like, do you want to know anything about me? And they're like,
oh wow.
I'm like, shit. Wow. I'm just, man,
that sucks.
I'm already done with you, man. Like, I don't. It's fucking stupid, man. Like, and nowadays, it's so like morphed into where these women they pick and choose how they want you to be, like how feminine they want you to be, how masculine they want you to be. Like, I understand, like when you're dating a woman for a long period of time, like after a while, you can like show them a little bit of your emotional side, but don't show that shit first off.
No, not at all.
Because then they're either gonna like, ooh, he's so like emotional and feminine. He's in touch with his soft side so much, or just like, oh, he's not feminine enough for me, and it's just like. It all goes back to what I was saying earlier. Women don't like you for your personality, for who you actually are. They want you to be what they already have in their head of what they see.
I can see that. I can see that they want like the normal conformity of what a man they think is, like the stereotype of a man,
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Especially now these days when I'm sure women like who've grown up in this era expect men to act like their role models do or something like that. Or like somebody else.
If their dad's feminine, you're ready for a awakening.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, that's
with a single mom, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it, man. Everybody's different too. On top of that, I wish it was just about it could just be about you and the girl measuring your personalities, and didn't have to bring in stupid shit that nobody cares about into it, like the media or like a role model or like a celebrity. Like you weren't being compared to other stuff. Like, because when I approach a woman, there is nobody I care about at that moment than that girl. I'm not gonna compare you to anybody. I'm not gonna judge you and think about, oh well, this isn't what my mom is like or something like that. I don't give a shit. Like I want someone new and fresh. Like I want somebody to reach a connection with me, I don't want to replicate anything I've had before. I don't want to compare anything that I had before. I just want to get to know this person that I am attracted to, and hopefully we have something in common and can date or something. Like that's all I care about. Like I wish it could be like that for everybody, but yeah.
But the thing is,
that's look too much into what they have in common too. Like they try and read too much into what you have in common. It's like, oh, what political party are you in?
Oh yeah.
I'm not into it, but I don't do politics. Oh, well, that's like a big thing for me. Like I'm not saying fuck Republicans or fuck Democrats. I'm saying I'm neither because I don't give a shit. And it's like they read too much into like what's important and what's really important and what's not really important. And that's not really important in a relationship. Relationship wise, it's not really important.
At least not at the beginning.
Period. When is that ever important? When is your political?
Well, for a lot of people that important. For a lot of people,
I'm talking about for me, it's not. But I'm talking about because nowadays what you think politically kind of directs your personality in a sense.
It does, yeah.
Especially with these chicks. And
they let that define the personality.
Exactly, they let it, but it still happens.
Well, bro, I mean, if you really want to get deep about it, it's kind of just like religion in the sense where it can dictate your entire upbringing. A political party can easily, if somebody is raised that way, dictate their entire upbringing, and it's hard to drop that shit. It is.
Religion polarizes people more now than it ever has before.
Yeah.
You say religion what?
Religion polarizes people more now than it ever has before, in my opinion.
Hey, man.
But at the same time, you see a lot of people that from different religions to get married.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
But that's because they know their true selves, and they went out and found their true counterpart.
And they probably went against the religion a little bit.
And Corn, you yourself just said people don't do that.
No, I'm talking about
the majority of people don't do that, but the people who do that are true to themselves.
Yeah.
They don't let this dumb shit get to them.
For the most part, yeah. It's just now politics is. I use politics because I've met women that hold that to a high standard.
Yeah.
For dating. That's the only reason why I use politics because
I understand.
That shouldn't be important in a relationship in getting to know someone. But apparently they molded their political party into like their personality.
Hey, you can play,
and that's a horrible thing. Yeah,
it is. But
you don't like
you gotta
that person in charge. Then we can't be like I don't care who's in charge. That doesn't mean anything to me.
But I feel like that comes from.
I'm telling you that. So it's like I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you vote at all. Like if you like me, I like you. Hey, let's date and see how this goes. Instead of let's cut it off right here because you're not Democrat, or let's cut it off right here. You're not Republican.
Remember you were telling us about, or you were telling me about how women want to. Well, some people in general, guys too, want to please their families. So they will do what their families think is best. And marry this person or marry that person because they have the same views as their.
Dude, that's a whole other can of worms. I could talk about all night about that stupid shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they might have been raised as a strict Republican, just like they were either raised, strict whatever religion you are. It's all about how you're raised and your upbringing, which turns someone into either a slave or a free spirit. Man, there's so much that goes into it. And I'm not gonna say that all of us haven't had bad luck with meeting people who are just like this over and over. I think we all have. So it's just it's how you're raised on top of circumstance, on top of a little bit of luck, and there you go. You're either batting like home runs every time, or you're striking out over and over. Like that's my experience at least. Yeah.
I mean, Jaren got fortunate enough to be because what Jess approached you, didn't she?
No, we kind of approached it at the same time. Because I guess I'll tell you the story. Whatever. I was debating on going at her, as you know, for a little bit. Yeah. Just because I was like, it was almost like because obviously as a dude, the first thing I'm thinking is if I could fuck her or not, and how does she carry herself walking around this gym? Because a lot of chicks are just there trying to show off and ain't really about shit.
Oh yeah.
90%.
90% of them, yeah. Not saying that there are some that aren't, because a lot of these chicks look good and they don't. I mean, most of that's genetics, but they don't get a lot of that stuff from just prancing around.
Yeah.
But I just kind of I mean, I just kind of just would peep at her every now and again, and be like, okay, yeah, she actually in here doing some shit, sweating as much as me, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I was making it known that I was eyeing her, and she was on me too. So I was finally like, I was like, yeah, I hit it, I'll go out on a date with her, whatever. Keep in mind, I had a couple other chicks at the time, so it's not like I was really pressed.
Yeah.
So I went up to her, and as soon as I pulled my headphone over, she pulled hers out. Literally at the same time, we both said, "So what's your name?" Because we had like said hey and waved at each other in passing a couple of times at the gym, like before that. Just once again to let her know, like, what's up. And yeah, at the same time, we both were like, "Yo, so what's your name?" And then it was just a wrap from there. I gave her the digits. She hit me up like an hour later, and yeah, that was it. I mean, we went. I mean, obviously that's not all, but
yeah, that was it.
But I mean, y'all pushed her. I thought she pushed you for it. That's why I thought yours was like a rare occasion.
No,
but yeah, for the most part, chicks aren't doing it approaching.
But she showed interest from the jump, like from the approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like she would just seem standoffish when I went at her. She was curious as well to see what was good. So
yeah, and like you touched on, Adam, like a really hard subject is like when chicks try to please their parents, which is the most annoying thing ever. I think if you're really a parent, and I've never been a parent, but honestly, as a person, for someone you claim to love, you should be happy if they're happy. I can see if the person is bad, if the other person is bad for them, but if they're not bad for them, if they're just different, like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't matter as long as they're happy and they go treat each other right. That's all that should matter. But
that's right.
Chicks, and it's not just nowadays. This has been going on forever where chicks do shit to please their parents. That's been going on for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
Like that started way back beyond Middle Ages and all that other shit where they, kings and queens, like you can't marry a queen unless you got this status. Like a princess can't go out, the daughter of a queen can't go out and just find some random dude that she likes and marry him. No, they have to be like this stature, they have to be in this class, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, to me, that's not true love. It's not.
No, it's not.
You're settling for status quo. You're having a trophy wife or husband or whatever you want to call yourself.
Trophy wife for a husband.
Yeah.
Having a trophy
I mean,
wife
hey,
for
it
a
could
husband.
be though. It could be. You do everything for the woman and she boss you around at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Oh, trust me, it happens a lot. I've seen dudes get treated like shit by their girlfriends or wives in public, and it's fun for me to watch, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, that shit's gotta take the soul out of it. It's gotta take your soul out. Like,
oh yeah,
where's your manhood, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's the thing with this whole women's equality thing going on, where it's like they're not trying to be equal; they're trying to be greater. Like y'all saying, the word in equality is equal. Men, women. That's where it should be. Women are now like we've always, at least me, I've always known women can do. There are some women that can do everything a man can do, or a certain man can do, but there's things that they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
You might be
biologically, not even just
massive manual labor. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like my girl shouldn't be able to. I mean, my girl might be able to do things that I can do, but she shouldn't have to do the things that I do. And there are things I'm not gonna let her do that I, as a man, should be able to do.
Be doing, yeah.
Okay, I understand you're able to, change a tire or some shit like that, but I'm a man. I'm gonna fucking do it.
Right.
Like, I don't need to see you outside trying to change a fucking tire. I don't need to see you trying to carry a big ass box. Because women equality, equal, not greater. Women now is like women are trying to be, oh, we're better than men. Okay, then take away equality. Take away equality.
And just call it matriarchy.
Yeah, that's what it ends up being, man. Yeah.
Because I mean the U.S. is it's getting to that point where it's gonna be matriarchy.
Yeah, and it honestly makes me a little sad just because women don't even really want to do the things that make men want to protect them and want to be with them anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Like women are becoming unattractive just based on what they do. Like not even necessarily how they look anymore. It's just like you could be fine as hell, but damn, you doing all this masculine shit. Like you got 20 guy friends and you go out drinking beer with the dude. Like it's like, do I really at the end of the day do I really want to be with a chick like that?
Chugging beer every Saturday night on the weekend, going out with the fellas.
Yeah.
The fuck do I look like?
Hey man.
Yeah, those dudes are as bad as a chick. Taking her out with them.
Yeah, and she probably screwing 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean,
with or without a boyfriend. And that's another thing. It's harder to maintain a relationship nowadays too. I feel like because I feel like I've really kind of learned a lot more about women's true nature in the past few years. Like before my last relationship, I was very naive. Looking back, but also, I mean, the situation was a little different. But I feel like chicks can get away with so much more now, so much easier, that you could love your woman, trust your woman, but at the end of the day, can you really trust any woman to that extent anymore? Based on what they got at their disposal, social media, this movement that we're talking about,
right?
All these,
you have to, because
people are paving the way.
Everything you fucking do.
Yeah.
And I feel like us as men, we're gonna have to do the same thing because you're gonna have to be able to read how she is in certain situations, which is what I say in terms of relationships in general. Before you get married, before you even have like a moving girlfriend, see how she is, see how she reacts to certain situations.
You gotta really vet that shit out.
Don't purposely put her in those situations. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when situations arise and she acts a certain way,
then you'll know.
And you like, nah, but I mean, I still want to be in a relationship. Like, dude, take that nah, take it. Because in the end, it's just either going to end up with her moving out, or it's going to end up in a divorce. It's going to probably cost money, because everything costs money nowadays. I wouldn't put it past a divorce costing money. I don't know how that shit works.
Oh yeah, it depends on. Yeah, I'm sure it costs a hell of a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, dude, you have to pay attention. I'm not saying like, oh, she has to be perfect or anything. Like, don't get me. I'm not saying that they have to be perfect. But what I'm saying is like, if she's walking around the house putting up selfies every fucking day.
Yeah, on Instagram all the time.
To get likes, trying to impress other people, and you chilling in the back like, yo, I'm right here. Like,
right?
This should be all the attention you need. Like, why do you need attention? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand dressing.
Man, that's like so true, man.
It is, man. I see that all the time too.
When they're dressing with going to school, cleavage, and then you go on Holloman, it's like, oh, I have a boyfriend. It's like, oh shit, I couldn't tell. I'm sorry.
Right? Yeah.
Because you walking around talking to this dude, talking to that dude, doing this, tits up, all that shit, and it's like, what? Like, and you telling me you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the need to advertise yourself on social media once you're off the market. I mean, that's fine to do it a little bit when you're single, but like, yeah, I see so many women who have boyfriends who are still flexing on the gram. It becomes really pointless. I feel like it's like, honestly, at that point, it's kind of just like you must not be fully satisfied with who you're with, because like if you were totally, go ahead.
They're not.
Yeah, because like if they were, they would feel no reason to do that shit, you know.
Like all the attention.
That person's there for this and that and the third, and that's it.
That's why I wish we had Nate on for this part, because he'd be able to tell us like because he knows that his wife that's all the attention that she needs is from him.
And
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
When you're in a stable relationship, when those two crossroads meet and you guys both meet halfway, like, you know for a fact she's I'm all the attention she needs, like excess attention. I'm not talking about just like, I'm not saying I should be the only person you talk to or anything like that, nothing like that. But it's just like, you shouldn't be going around doing all this extra shit where you got somebody at home, or you're in a relationship with somebody, a serious relationship with somebody like that. Yeah, because now me as a boyfriend, or me as the husband, or whatever, you're thinking yourself like, what the fuck am I then? Am I just like am I a boy toy? And what the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Like, you need to have that balance. And women now, I'm not saying all of them, so we're probably not going to get that many listeners. But anyways, anybody who is listening, like, it's I'm not saying like, oh, all women, but it's a lot of women, more than you think, try and like have more of that relationship on like more of a grasping relationship than a man. It should be even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really should.
Or you two should at least balance each other out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like just by how you interact with each other, you do certain things, she does certain things, you know.
Yeah.
It's just how it works out.
Yeah. 'Cause
Or,
now,
you know, I was going to say, really, as a man, you
it
got
all-
to set. Oh, go ahead, Connor. My bad.
No, I'm saying it all looks fake to me when I see shit like that. I can see the fakeness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why knowing yourself is important, because if you know yourself, you know when something's not benefiting you, and you can kind of tell what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very much, man. Very much. It's crazy. Like I was talking about before, like social media just becomes such a big part of everyone's life, and that will affect who you are too. And like these women and guys
Because they
too.
left.
Yeah, and I'm not saying men are excluded from this either, because I see guys on Instagram posting all these useless ass stories where they're like frying up eggs or something and saying like name a better duo than eggs and bacon. Like just.
I do that.
Oh,
I can't.
well, I mean, okay, maybe not that, because that has nothing to do with attractive people.
I just do that shit to just be funny. I don't really do that for it.
I don't know. Well, you don't do it that much. I mean,
No.
I'm talking about some people who literally do it every single freaking day, and it's just like, even if this person is dating somebody, they keep doing that, and I have noticed.
Bro.
What's up? Do what?
Name a better.
Name a better duos. Sounds so damn typical. But anyway, so yeah, I literally saw this couple that I met back when I was still in Virginia. Seemed like they were perfect for each other. And not that long ago, the guy leaves this humongous post on Facebook for the world to see, because I mean that's so much fun. I guess that's so much fun doing. And saying that we have broken up. She felt more need to have 100 people on Instagram like her than to get attention from me. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, yeah, literally that's why. And I'm just like, damn, yep, that sounds about right, because some of these guys.
Hey, he's a brave soul for leaving.
Yeah, he is.
Props to him.
And they had a kid together, and he still couldn't take it. Yeah. So, despite that, I mean, you got to give the guy props for that.
And you know what she's gonna go? You know what she's gonna go find next, right?
What?
A guy that lets her do that.
Yeah.
That's okay being in the background.
Absolutely.
Bro, I'm just sitting here thinking about the ones I see doing that, who still have boyfriends and obviously they can't be totally happy. You know, it's unless
because
they're
in a relationship, it becomes more than just sex. Because if I'm just sleeping with somebody, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if it comes to a relationship, I'm gonna be like, yo, check yourself.
Yeah, stop doing that or something like that. You know.
Absolutely. You gotta keep them in line in a relationship, because they're always testing you. Chicks are always testing you.
Yeah, because
and even when you don't know it, man, even when you don't know it, they're testing you. Always think everything's a fucking test. I learned from like my past relationships, everything you say, a chick will take to the literal sense that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Like they remember it. They have the best memory too, because they remember everything. But the shit that they don't, the shit that they should remember, they don't, or they act like they don't. But they remember the shit that you don't think they remember. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That's the naked truth.
Yeah, because I've done and said some wild shit, and then they bring it up like way beyond past that point. Like when you forgot it, you even said.
You even said it. Yeah, exactly.
And then they bring that shit up, and you're like, oh damn, I didn't mean it like that. And they're like, oh yeah, you did. And then everyone bites the dust.
Yeah, but hey, there's plenty of chicks out here though. It's just the hard part is finding one that's worth a damn. Because let's be real, if you can control a woman's mind, you can get everybody else's on board.
Fair enough.
I'm not saying control it, but
you gotta control as in if you can persuade a woman more than a man.
You gotta have
9
a hold
times
on.
out of 10.
Oh, if you persuade a woman, you will persuade a man, because a man wants a woman. That's what's gonna happen. Because if you got the hot chicks on board, the guys are gonna hop on board because, hey, where'd you guys get those hot chicks? You know, it's that's just the way the world works, man.
So you're saying have a threesome? Sorry, man. I'm 5 days into No Nut November. I'm sorry. I'm just.
fine.
Oh yeah, this is probably a bad topic to keep on pushing, brother.
This topic, this probably a bad topic that we've been talking about for the past half hour.
You mean
I've got like
5 minutes, but okay.
I got 30 more days left. It's all good.
No, dummy. 30 more days. It's the 5th.
Oh, you know what I mean. Close to it. Close. I just said 30. I couldn't.
You got 20. You got 29. Or wait, no, I'm tripping.
25.
26. He's got 20. It's 31 days in November, right?
Oh, dummy.
Think it's straight.
Oh shit.
I'm
Okay,
saying
it's
I got
25.
a calendar right here. 25.
Okay, it's 25 then.
I'm not thinking straight right now, man. Fuck.
No, by the end of it, you'll be clear-headed, bro. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, I know I'll be clear-headed by December 1st.
Yeah.
I'm working on No Nut Forever over here.
Oh gosh.
That's
Don't ever
tough.
say that.
That's tough.
There's a different. No nut is as in no fucking either. That's the thing. Like.
Oh, no, I'm talking about no.
I'm good.
You're talking about masturbation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, me too.
Nuts nut.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, anyways. All right, fellas. Well, I think that was a hefty, and no pun intended, topic. And hey, it was a pleasure, everybody. We'll be back. We'll be back next time, whenever that is.
Yeah, we'll be back next time. We're not sure of the topic yet, but by the next show we will have the topic. You best believe.
We are Contemporary Comrades, and until next time.
Peace.
Take it easy.
Out.